All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody's having a good day. And should be going live with Johnny Martinez here in just a minute. Oh, so that's how you do the Q&A. Pretty awesome. Alright, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Boom. Damn, that was way easier. Sending an invite. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yo, yo.
What's going on, man?
Oh, what's up? What's up?
How you doing?
Turn this up just a little bit. I'm good, man. What's
I was
up?
like, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
How's it going, brother?
Dude, it's nice to meet you, man. Finally.
Officially meet you as well. It's been
Yeah. Yeah, we've been back and forth for quite a minute now.
Yeah, dude. I know I've been watching your stuff for quite some time too, and then just started kind of picking up on your podcast a little bit as well, like here and there, trying to listen to tidbits as best I can, dude. So I see you on your grind, man.
Yeah, man. Well, the podcast will get a little bit better. I just got like a new mic and all that stuff, so I'll be getting like a little bit. It'll be a lot easier for me to actually sit down and make it a like a point to do it,
Mhm.
because for the whole beginning of it, I just was kind of like experimenting with just getting my shit out there, I guess you could say. So, kind of like what you're doing with your videos and stuff. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
kind of like experimenting as you go, and like kind of just you don't know what you're doing, but you're just kind of going with the flow. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I
Hey,
totally.
I appreciate you watching the stories and interacting with me and stuff. Though I really wanted to kind of thank you for that, because you and like just a very few other people were the only ones to really kind of like go back and forth with me, and I just wanted to extend my appreciation on you or with you for that. Um, but I wanted to do it live with you because I wanted to get you on the podcast, and I'm just from seeing what you've done from when I started on Instagram and started following you and everything. It's been an interesting transition into more of the more film side of everything,
Yeah.
and I just I don't know. I was really interested in how you got from like how you got into the whole fitness thing, and how you kind of just started following with the filming stuff, because I know you're going to be coming out with a lot of stuff in 2019, as far as filming goes, and I know you're kind of just beginning on your journey, so I kind of wanted to catch you on the beginning of it and kind of talk about that, so that way, during this next year as you grow, maybe we could do another one at this time next year and kind of just see where you're at and stuff. So,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
gonna be awesome. Um, okay, to kind of start from the beginning as far as like personal training. Well, I got into fitness when I was young, dude. I started probably my sophomore year, and that was when I kind of started getting into like sports and all that stuff. So I wrestled for a little bit, and then one of my friends actually introduced me to like, have you ever heard of bodybuilding.com? Okay,
yes,
so it's like an online kind of like database that they have for a whole bunch of like online workouts, and it used to be free. So back when it was free, one of my friends was like, "Dude, like let's do this 12-week program. Like it'd be so cool." And I was barely starting to get into like working out at all. And so I was like, "Dude, like let's do it. Why not? It'd be a good time." Like I've wanted abs since I can remember. It was just, it's been hard for me. So when I was a kid, my New Year's resolution for like a good 4 years was just like I wanted to start to be able to see my abs. And so like when I started, so I started going to the gym with him, and it was probably like 2 or 3 months that we were going consistently together. And then after that, he kind of fell off. And that was right about the time that I started to see my body kind of develop and change a little bit. And I feel like for most people, that's kind of when it starts to develop a habit, is when you start to see the body actually change.
The progress. Yeah.
Yeah, you start to see the progress, and you start to see the actual results of what's coming. And that's when, dude, it just hit me like a truck, man. I was like, dude, I love this. Like, this is awesome. So that's when I started to get really into it. And I feel like for most people that work out, for most guys, you want to be able to generate an income from what you love. And at the time, like, that was what I love to do. I love to work out. So I figured, like, okay, let me get into personal training. Like, this would be cool. Like, I can help people work out. I can help people feel the same way that I do. And so I started off working at LA Fitness, the front desk. And after that, after about, I want to say like 5 or 6 months there, transitioned into a personal trainer. So I've been a personal trainer now for, I want to say, like 2 years, 2.5 years. And then after that, I decided to go independently. So I rented out space from a facility called Self-Made. And I've been doing that since last November, I want to say. So I've been like independently personal training. So kind of, I guess, essentially trying to run my own business. And I figured that was the way to kind of go about it. But after this whole year, dude, it's been very stressful, I think. And it was a lot of me kind of always being worried about, like, how much am I going to bring in? How many clients I'm going to have this month? You know,
Yeah.
I understand, like, how a lot of people, you know, you like to create your own schedule, and you like, you know, that kind of life for yourself. For me, it was just super stressful, and trying to balance that. And then I was still training through another gym that was called Choose. I do like circuit training over there. So I was kind of handling both of these, and then doing my videos stuff on like the back end too. And I want to say probably like September, October, I was kind of just like beat. You know, I was like, man, my schedule's all over the place. Like, I'm super stressed out. Like, I'm always worried about, like, what's coming in next month, what's coming this month, how much am I save, like, how many clients am I gonna have, you know? So it was just one of those things that was super, like, stressful for me. And at the same time, I was doing some videos for the trainers that were in the facility, and like just kind of a couple like little edits that I would do here and there, because I've been doing my YouTube thing for a while, but I think I was kind of holding off to do like videos for other people. So I remember one day they had an actual like film guy come in, and he was doing some edits for like the Self-Made page or whatever. And I just got talking with him. His name's Omar. His Instagram is Next Level. And it was just kind of like, he was like, dude, this is so much fun. He's like, I get to go and experience different things all the time, get to film different stuff, like just get to hang out with cool people. And I was like, man, like, I would love that. Like, I would love to be able to do that and you know, do that full time, because that was kind of when like my passion for, like, I guess, helping other people get fit was kind of losing its touch. I wasn't really enjoying it as much. And so right after that happened, I was like, man, like, I think I'm going to stop personal training. I was actually offered a position in the marketing department for Choose to help them develop some content for the social media. So I kind of saw that as like, okay, here's your like ticket.
Hey.
Here you go. Like, you know, take a leap of faith, go towards this route. This is what you want to do. So the next month I was like, hey, my man, like, this is my last month here. Like, I'll be kind of like, you know, getting rid of all my clients slowly. And then I'll kind of officially be transitioned out this month, December. So this is the first month that I've been kind of like really going in like hardcore, like doing all this back end video stuff, really trying to get my stuff out there. And a lot of it, like I said, I've been saying this in my videos, but a lot of it's just like trial and error and experience and learning as I go.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know anything about this filming stuff. Like, there's all kinds of like f-stops and apertures and like all this shit, dude, that I have no idea about. And I think that's the most fun about it. Like, I get to like learn and experience, and I like that I get to document it too. Like, this is me
Yeah.
working all this.
Yeah.
with you guys. It's not me like, you know, because we see a lot of like entrepreneurs and mentors, like they just talk about their past, but I actually get to bring people along with me
Yes,
learning all this stuff.
exactly.
That's the coolest part about it.
Yes, and see that's what I that's why I want to talk with that's why I want to talk with people like you, people that are in the shit, like people that are actually going through everything and actually even still just finding what they love to do and going beyond that into like really diving into like how they can just incorporate it in their life. It doesn't necessarily need to make the money right now, but as long as they're following what they love to do, their life is going to feel a lot more fulfilled than like how yours was, where you thought, oh, I'm going to bring in some money, I'm going to get fit at the same time, I'm going to help people get fit, and it's like you have like the best intentions, but when you don't fall in love with it the way that you do, like with something like film,
Mm-hmm.
or the way that the way that you're falling in love with experimenting with film, then it's like then it just starts to seem like a chore, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when it starts to really just drain energy and not give you energy, and then you start to dread waking up and not get excited about waking up, and it's like, oh shit, like okay, I need to like reevaluate this a little bit, and then it seems like once you started incorporating you know and experimenting with something and getting really into it and really like falling in love with the process of like learning it, then that's where like all of the progress will follow. And I feel like that's kind of like what's allowed you to really like enjoy what you're doing, and like you said, be able to document it and not even feel not feel like any type of way about documenting it, or like not caring about what anybody thinks about the way that you're documenting, because in the end you're going to have something to refer back to all the time and just see how you've grown. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? And that's exactly why I want to do these podcasts with people like that, because it's like who knows where these people are going to be, and like that's why I'm like very particular about like who I do them with, because it's like who knows, because I'm mostly curious, and
Uh-huh.
it's like who knows where these people are going to be in like a year, 2, 3 years from now, and it'd be really cool to like just stay in connection and be able to just keep that bridge built where it's like, damn, like look how far you've come,
Mm-hmm.
let's have you back on and like let's talk about your big old business that you built underneath you, that you started with just experimenting with some film, like you know what I mean, like it's just, so that's really like why I want to do these and why I like to talk about it. And I guess one of my other like questions would be, it seems like you've always kind of like you've always kind of like, and I think you've said this in some of your posts too, like you've always, and that's why I kind of like was a little bit related to you, because I think I even like might have liked it and then followed you right after I saw it. But there was a post you did about progress,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you kind of view it the same way I do, and you view it as like very important and like just a very key piece of life where if you're not progressing constantly, then you're not really doing much, and you're
Oh,
just constantly, you know what I mean? You're falling back every single time. You're not moving. And my question is just, is that something that you have always done, like just ever since you were little, like were you always just trying to get better at things, or is it something that you had to kind of like stumble into because you like fell off and you were like, oh my gosh, like I need to start, you know, I need to keep doing. Like, is it something that hit you, or is it something that you've kind of always like just been with? Because it's hard for people to stay with that,
mm-hmm.
because a lot of people get intimidated and they stop things and they quit, or they, you know what I mean? And there's a difference between following your passion and quitting something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so like, and so I guess, yeah. So like, is it something that you were kind of born with, or is it something that kind of just hits you like, hey man, I need to just keep moving and keep pushing and keep just getting better?
Yeah. Um, Honestly, I don't think it was instilled in me. When I was, uh, I guess in a sense it was. I grew up very poor. So I think that's kind of like the mentality that I have, is that I never wanted to live that way, because we grew up, on Section 8 housing. Like we grew up not having very much, moving from place to place. So it was kind of, you get what you need, and that's it. So
Right.
I think for me, it was kind of the idea that I didn't want that in my life. So I've always wanted to push to be able to take care of my family and to take care of those people that are around me so that we would never have to live like that again. And yeah, I think as I grew up, that was kind of just instilled in me that I want to constantly keep progressing and getting better in everything that I do. And that goes along like with your passion too. Like if you're not growing and learning and you know expanding in what you do right now, what's the point of living? You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people kind of get stuck in that. You know, like let me just work this 9 to 5 job because it brings money to the table. Like absolutely, if you have people that you need to support, go ahead and do that. But once people
Yeah.
get caught in that kind of vicious cycle of like, I'm gonna go work this job for the rest of my life and then you know retire and whatever. You know, it's just crazy that people get caught in that and people lose sight of their passions so early on. And that was something that kind of developed in me through fitness too. Like I think as soon as I started to see my body kind of developed, it was like I want to set new goals. I want to go. I want to get after something new. I want to try this.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that kind of idea or mentality kind of carried over into other aspects of my life. Like, oh shit, like I can, you know, do this and change my body this way. Let's see how I can take this
Apply
to
that.
my life.
Yeah.
And, like, let me get better in this aspect. And it's just a lot of fun too, dude. Like it's fun to go out and experiment. And like that's what I'm doing at this point. Like I'm just having a good time and having fun and trying to enjoy life to the fullest, you know, because we only have one. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And how old are you now?
I'm 21.
You're 21.
Yeah.
And dang, man, nice. So yeah, it's good that you're doing all that because I like in my situation, you know, I had my kids at a really young age, so I didn't have time to experiment.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It was about the rat race until I actually got to a point where and it took a long time, but I actually got to a point where, you know, I am able to, you know, make money doing, I'm able to make enough money to provide for me and my family for what we need.
Hmm.
Enough for me to be able to incorporate everything that I do in the spare time that I have.
Hmm.
And that's, you know, that's something that you're trying to figure out now. And now that you figured it out early on, it's going to be a lot easier. You know, you're going to have a lot more time um, to really like get involved with everything that you're doing. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm excited for what you have, you know, coming in this next year. Are you like planning on doing a lot more videos?
Oh yeah.
Like what kind? Like more vlogs, I mean, like or
Um,
like like commercial type stuff for like other like are you trying to like outsource or and like put your stuff and like help other people out or like are you trying to just do your own thing or what are we expecting?
um, I think YouTube has been a constant like thing in my life that I've wanted to be consistent with. It's just been a very hard thing for me to be consistent with. So
It's hard. It's hard.
it is, man. And I hate that it's hard for me because it's something that shouldn't be. Like it's something that I should just like knock out, you know, like I'm gonna be consistent, I'm gonna keep uploading, you know. And I think I get kind of the mentality that a lot of people get, like people aren't watching my stuff, so why am I gonna make it, you know? And I have to kind of revert back to the idea that, you know, I'm documenting not necessarily for other people, but for myself as well. So in 20 years I can look back and say like, dude, this is what I was going through at this time. So you know, when I'm successful or, you know, it's just going to be a cool thing to look back at and whatever, show my kids or show my family, like, dude, this is where I was at. Like I was down in the trenches, like doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like I don't even have to explain it, just watch it. Just watch
exactly, exactly.
it.
And so I really, every time I say I'm going to be consistent, I end up like falling off. So I just uploaded a new video last night. So I'm on a roll. I got 2 out within the past like couple weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm going to carry that on into 2019 and be more consistent with that. I really want to focus on building that kind of personal brand for myself. And I would love for that to kind of, not necessarily blow up, but I would love for that to get bigger in like 2019. As far as like the video stuff, I'm really looking into getting into, dude, I want to get into a lot of different industries. Like I want to start filming weddings. I want to start booking some of those.
Hey, that'd be dope. Where are you out? Where are you right now?
I'm in Pomona, California.
Oh, damn, never mind. I'm getting married in Florida. I was gonna say you could do our wedding. I
No
was saying
way.
you could do our wedding, but
Uh, when you getting married?
July next year, like this next year.
Okay, okay. Dang.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we'll see where I'm at, hopefully.
hey, yeah, if you're down there, shoot, yeah, you could definitely come. You could definitely
Oh,
film that,
cool,
and
cool.
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I've been kind of touching base with a little bit of everything, like filming for myself. I want to say like a month ago was the first time I've actually filmed cars. I have a buddy that owns like a decal shop, so he let me go down for their like grand opening, shoot all their cars that they had, and like I've never been a car person at all. Like I know nothing about
Was
cars.
that video that you had
Yeah,
up?
it's on my
Was it? I saw it.
my Instagram.
It was a post. It was just a post, right? Was
Yeah.
it just a post?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Dude, it was dope. I liked the music with it too. It was like the perfect like vibe. It was panned out right. Like I don't know, it looked good. I don't know none of the terms and shit, but like it was
Thanks, man. Thanks.
nice. It looked good. Yeah.
So I've been getting into a little bit more of that stuff. Want to start booking weddings. Like I want to start doing real estate, and I think that's the coolest thing about like this industry is I can brand like everybody needs a video. That's what I think is so cool. Like I want
Especially now, especially nowadays.
to. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just excited to see where it takes me. I got like I want to do stuff for like DJs. I want to do stuff. I have a friend that's going to be getting married that I want to touch base with, see if she'll let me film her. So hopefully that's something we can get like set and planned, like set in stone for this upcoming year. Because I know she's getting married. I just don't know what month. So I'll keep everybody updated with what goes on with that. Yeah, man. And I'm just gonna kind of see where I can take it right now. With the New Year's coming up and everything, it's kind of time for me to like reflect on what this year has like brought, and then I want to kind of consolidate all that, write it down, and come up with obviously like long-term goals over the course of the year, and just kind of break down everything super structurally to make sure that I'm kind of on track with that. And I like to do that not necessarily for just like years, but I'll do it for like months and weeks too. And I feel like a lot of people kind of struggle with that. It's being consistent with stuff, and that's one thing that's
Yeah.
helped me is actually writing down what I want to get done this week or this day. And like I'll literally write it down in my planner, like I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna go film this, I'm gonna, make sure I hit the gym this many times a week. And so that way it's
Yeah.
super consistent and consolidated. Because a couple months ago I wasn't doing that and the time was just flying by, and I was like, man, I planned to do this like 2 months ago and I never did it.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Exactly.
it was just one thing that like kept catching up to me, and I was like, dude, I just need to get, because you think about something, you're like, okay, I'll get that done, and then you just forget about it, and then 2 months
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
I didn't do this, man.
Yeah.
uh,
It's funny too because I'm sure you have it too, but like there's just like my notes are just full of just random just
yeah,
thoughts or random stuff just like that I'm thinking about. I'm just like I forgot about that idea. Oh dang, I forgot about that.
yeah. So I put because when I'm driving I get like a lot of ideas to film stuff and talk about stuff. It's just kind of like my time to like brainstorm and think about or like listen to podcasts and stuff. So I actually put, I don't know if you saw my videos, but that little like arm thing to just hook up on my phone, so I can just like literally record myself while I'm driving
Yes.
and talk.
Yeah. What did you get? What kind is that?
It's and I don't even know what the mount is called. But it's on Amazon. If you just look up car mount on Amazon, it's just like a little arm. You stick it up on the window and just like lock it on there, and then you can put your phone up there and just.
Oh snap. Yeah, well, because yours doesn't shake.
Yeah, so it was shaking before. It was when I uploaded my first video, and I was like, "Damn, man, like this is gonna suck." So I kind of like jerry rigged it in a sense, where like I pulled down the mirror, the like front mirror, and like kind of pushed it again so it doesn't shake anymore.
Oh, okay. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you. I got you.
so you just gotta kind of play around with it, but
Okay.
I try to make it not shake as much as I can. It still does a little bit, but it's just for me to kind of get my ideas out there and kind of like record myself, especially for Instagram, because I'm trying to be a lot more consistent with that too, and just uploading stuff and being more transparent on Instagram. I feel like a lot of people kind of, even me, like I'm guilty of it too. They put a lot of the highlights of the life and a lot of good stuff on Instagram, and like I said, I'm guilty of it too. But I want to be a lot more transparent on there and say like, look, like this is what I'm going through now, like and just kind of document on here a lot more, as opposed to just YouTube too.
Exactly. No, it's good. It's good that you're doing that too because yeah, that's what everybody does. That's all everybody does. Like they don't I don't know. It's crazy. And
What?
everybody there, or they have like a filter on, or like I don't know.
Yep,
It's
yep,
crazy. And, yeah, and I feel like the imperfections are what make you like the authentic you,
yeah.
and that's really like, and you're doing it right. You're doing it right, like because what you're doing is like you're experimenting enough to document it, and then you're having enough humility to just share it and be open with it, and then you're only going to grow from here. Like this is just a starting point. You know what I mean? And like you said, you have all these plans, and everything. I'm sure you know everything is not going to happen the way that you may see it, but it is going to happen. And the more that you follow it, you're going to get all these new opportunities to do different things, and then you're going to find your way to doing the main thing that you love to do, and you can focus on certain aspects of the thing that you love to do, and it's just all because you were able to follow your vision
Hmm.
and just kind of play around with it in the right ways and be able to share it with everybody. And it's going to help everybody else too, because you're going to be able to build your brand, because people are going to be able to relate to you because you're showing the human side of you. And when people can humanize with somebody else like that and see somebody's real side like that, enough to see how authentic they're being, I feel like that is when you kind of open up that relationship, even without having to necessarily sell somebody on, hey, follow me, I'm this guy, and subscribe to my channel. Like, you know what I mean? So I think you're definitely like on the right path, and I think you're doing it right, because I see a lot of people, and that's one thing that I that's just the one thing that I like to do, is I just like to talk to people and observe the way that people are. So I see a lot of people who aren't willing to do that. They just want to rush the system and call themselves professional cinematographer right off the bat,
Hmm.
just because they bought a fancy camera and you know what I mean, some soundproof stuff. Like you know what I mean? Like, and some people really do put that in their bio right away,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. And you know, you had enough humility to even figure out that the whole fitness thing wasn't what you wanted. You know what I mean? You admitted it, and you weren't scared to admit it. You were completely honest about it, even in your vlogs, which I think is going to just only propel later on, like just more and more and more and more and more, and it's just gonna, I don't know. I think it's gonna be good for you, man. I think you're gonna be looking for another a next few pretty good growth years
Hmm.
ahead of you. Uh, it's going to be exciting to see kind of where you're at in the next in the next year or two.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, like I said, I'm guilty of it too. Like just putting like glorified stuff on Instagram, or even like I think I put like videographer on my Instagram, and I just recently changed it too because I was like, man, like I'm not gonna call myself a videographer. Yeah, like I like to make videos, and that's what I like to do, and I don't want to kind of fake it or make it a front that I'm doing all these things when I'm not. And so yeah, it's just everybody goes through it. Obviously you want everybody to see the good parts of your life, not necessarily the bad. Um, but the bad stuff is what makes you who you are. And I think a lot of
Yep.
people need to kind of understand that. It's a lot of the documenting of your life that people want to see. They want to see the downs. They want to see the transparent side of you. They want to see what you're going through. And I think Gary Vee says this a lot. He just says document over create. And that's what a lot of people are focusing on doing. They're focusing on creating content, even like me on YouTube. Like I want to come out with good stuff so that people want to watch it, as opposed to just coming out with something that's just me, like raw. So
Yeah.
that's something that I've been going through as well, and a lot of people can benefit from that too, especially if you're trying to build a personal brand. And so, what are you doing right now? So you're a painter, or are you doing like?
Oh, I just do everything, bro.
Okay, no,
No, so for actual, basically, I paint houses on the military base out here.
okay,
And it's me and my brother-in-law. It's his business, but I help him run it basically.
solid.
Um, and so it's me and him. We pretty much do a house a day. So we do a house a day, and then I was doing music for the longest time.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I still do it. Um, and I'm starting to help some of my like the youngers, like my brother's friends and stuff like that, help them record and all that. So like all the people who are featured, or the guy who's featured is like one of my brother's friends, trying
Okay,
to help out and stuff like that. But I still do music. And then I just basically I started a podcast maybe a few months ago.
Okay.
And that's really like going to be like my main focus and my main thing, because what I realized was I like to, and I didn't realize this for a long time, but I realized I really like to um, like motivate people. I really like to just, help people believe in themselves. And I really like to, see the potential in people and help build them so they can do something with themselves.
Mhm.
And I've always just tried to lead by example, basically. Just, I don't know if it just stemmed from me being a dad early on
Mhm.
or something like that, but I just always loved just leading by example. And I never really asked for much, and I always was okay with little. Like I was, you know what I mean? I grew up poor too, just like you, and like I didn't have much, and I'm not used to much, and I don't expect much, and you know, I have a high standard, but whenever I started to have kids, it wasn't for me. Like, and so I never had that high standard for myself. I had that high standard for myself for my kids, like for the people that I take care of. Because I'm if I'm not here, either or if I'm not like at work, or I'm not here, taking care of everything at the house, or taking care of the kids, or whatever, they wouldn't have anybody. Like nobody would be able to survive. You know what I mean? And I've always been in that position where I've never had a choice otherwise. So what I decided was I'm going to start a podcast and kind of just help see that it's not about it's not about the money. It's not about,
Mhm.
you know, it's not about all these things that people like, all these material things that people like to put emphasis on. It's about the way that you feel inside. Because what I learned and what I never understood before was the fact that I was never like miserable without things. Like I was more miserable when I would put emphasis on things, and I was at more on my low point when all of my emphasis was put on certain people or things, and like all my happiness was predicated on certain things, as opposed to feeling fulfilled within myself.
Mhm.
And so I started to do a lot of like, self journey, like stuff like that, self development and all that. And I took a break and I just completely like went off all social media and all that. And I started to just learn about like every part of everything that I was feeling and why. And I started to question a lot of different things, and then I came to myself, because nobody was really like there for me to tell me this is the way that you're supposed to feel, or this is the way like nobody was even there to normalize it. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of, and I get that everybody's doing it now, but I'm coming from more of a place where it's like I just don't want anybody to feel like they don't have a voice. I don't want anybody to feel like they're alone in something. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Because I believe in everybody. I believe everybody has the potential to be something and do something good. Even if it's for themselves, for their family, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
I believe in that. You know what I mean? And I started to see and expose myself to people that like were doing that, and I was like, okay, I guess this is a thing now. Like, I guess you can actually just motivate people, and I'm not ever really looking to do it for money, because, like I said, I have enough to provide, for me and my family, and I don't need much. You know what I mean? And so, like, I'm trying to be, I guess you could say, like a personal brand
Okay.
with the podcast and all that.
Yeah.
Um, and in addition to all that, I'm finishing up my book now, and I've always wanted to just become an author on top of it all.
Okay.
So so I'm finishing up my book now, and then hopefully when that comes out, I can get a little bit more traction as far as like, what I'm about, and what I know, and just and all of that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I kind of came into the game a little strong and quick, just because I only literally started in, I think, like October, like the last week of September, October. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? I was basically like you, just documenting every day, everything. And so that's kind of what my whole thing is. And the whole thing with PRA is just potential, reach, and aggression. So it's just, you gotta figure out your potential, you gotta realize it, you have to reach further than, you know, what you have been. You got to figure out how far you got to go, and then you just got to go towards it aggressively. You just got to get to it. And the reason why I did that is just because of progression. So like I just switched the O with the A. It's
Yeah.
just progression, PRA. So just, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
it'll come around, but it's just taking time because, like I said, I've only been at it for a few months, and I'm just trying to meet people at this point. Like I said, I'm just trying to build like a network for myself, so that way I can build relationships with people and just, you know, talk back and forth and grow from each other, grow from our experiences. You know what I mean? Talk about our experiences, talk about our growth, and really just get to where we want to be. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's really the goal, is to just find yourself and attack that, and like just go for what makes you feel fulfilled inside.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Dang, man, that's awesome. You're doing a great job at documenting all this stuff. I love watching all your stories and your podcasts and stuff, man. You're killing it. Yeah, and I think that's such an important aspect of life, is just networking and getting together with people that are like-minded, or or above you, or someone that you kind of see yourself being like. And that's a huge part that hinders a lot of people, is they surround themselves with people that aren't on the same level or don't want the same things out of life. And that's one thing that I was doing for a while, is I had people around me that were not necessarily like life drainers, but they just didn't have the same aspirations and same goals that I did. And it was just like a friend group that I had for a while. And like I want to say April, May, June, probably around June is when I started to kind of, get those people out of my life, like one by one, started kind of like isolating myself a little bit more, and kind of just like honing in on what I want to do and what I want to get done and what I want to accomplish. Because dude, like, even though I'm quote unquote young, like I feel like I'm not, like, I feel like I need to do something. And I felt like that for a while. Like when I was like 18, I was like, man, like I just want to do something with my life. Like I just want to be heard. I want to be seen. Like I want to do something big. And like I was I was meant for something bigger. But yeah, I don't know, man. And I just have that like weird kind of mentality where I need to, I don't know, man.
To keep
Yeah, yeah. It's just one of those things. So yeah, I started getting kind of rid of those people, and slowly trying to replace them with people that are kind of on the same path as me, I guess, or just people that want to constantly progress and get better in whatever it is that they're doing. I don't care what people are trying to do in their life. Whether it's you want to fucking be a vet, or something like that. As long as you are doing something that's going to fulfill you and following your passion and what you love to do, like, more power to you. And that's what I feel like. I feel like a lot of people lose sight of that passion way too early on, and they kind of get fixed in the society's cycle of, go to school, listen to what you're told, get a 9 to 5 job, and then
Yep,
die. And that's kind of what everybody does.
exactly.
And you can break out of that cycle. It was really hard for me too. I went to college for a year, maybe 2 years, and I was miserable, dude. I hated it. I hated everything. And I was never a sit down and like person. Like it just drove me crazy. And I remember I was sitting in my math class one day, and dude, I was having such a hard time paying attention. I was just sitting there, like everything was just going over my head. I wasn't listening. And I just got up and walked out, and then I never went back to school. And that was one of the hardest decisions for me. But I knew I kind of wanted to follow something bigger, and I wanted to, do something different with my life, as opposed to sit and learn about all this stuff that I've learned about in high school again. And
Yeah,
I think a lot of it comes from like, you learn as you do. If you take the stuff that you learn, all of the stuff that I know, like how to edit videos and, do all this like video stuff and photography stuff, like I learned it all on my own. I'm all self-taught. Like I didn't sit through school,
yeah,
sit through
exactly.
classes to learn this stuff. And I just went out and applied it. Like I said, I don't know anything about filming. I'm just going out and, dude, I bought like a big old gimbal, like not knowing how to use it. And I was like, I'm just gonna shoot some stuff. Like, let me see what I can come up with. So yeah, I
I
just
love it. I
go
love
around
it though.
doing stuff, man. And seeing kind of what I can come up with from there. And that's why I'm just so excited to see where I can take this, because I don't know what I'm doing now. So it's going to be awesome a year from now,
Um,
when I'm shooting weddings and real estate and like just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm super
And your
excited.
name's getting out there. Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah.
And
So
hey, if if I ever end up doing like a music video and I'm in Cali, I'll hit you up for sure.
solid. I like it. I like it. I saw start. It's a like a mastermind group or something like that, like a Facebook kind of group for people trying to better themselves or something like that, right?
Wait, what? For my thing?
Yeah, yeah. So I saw you were trying to come up with something like
Yes,
that.
yes. So, yes, I'm actually trying to figure all that out. I'm still kind of, like I said, I'm still new to everything. So I'm trying to figure out I feel like I got off of like social media for just a few months and stuff, and it like totally changed. So I
Dang.
like, yeah, so I'm like trying to figure out the whole group thing, but I'm gonna get better with that. But yes, basically, I'm trying to, like you said, I don't know what I'm trying to do yet, but I'm trying to basically just get all the people that I've talked with already like together on the same like page.
Yeah.
Um, so that way we can kind of figure something out. Because it's specific people, and I know that everybody wants to like spread a message out there, and or at least I want to spread the message of what is you out there. And so I want to do something to where like it's these people who are going through things and I can just kind of like, be able to talk about like, this person's going through that, this person's doing that, like, or have you guys be able to like inspire people or like whatever, and just be all be able to like kind of post it in the same realm or big each other up, or I don't know. I'm not too sure yet, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
But
definitely. I like that. Well,
but yeah,
whatever ideas you can let me know, and I can help you try to create that. Because I know, like, it's all about who you surround yourself with. So if you get people like minded, there's no telling what can happen.
oh dude, I'm so down. I'll definitely have to message you and kind of just see your take on all of it, because yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, and it seems like you kind of have a grasp on a little bit of certain things that would definitely help that. So I definitely will definitely be reaching out to you. So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, man. I saw it and I was like, oh man, that'd be good. So if we can get something going like that, because that's something that I struggle with too. Is when I kind of got those people out of my life, I was kind of isolated by myself, and I was like, man, I just need people that are with me on the same level as me to help me
Yeah,
push and progress. Because everybody fights this like constant internal battle of like, let me constantly keep getting better and doing stuff, and then it hits me with like sometimes I won't even go to the gym. Like I'll sit out for a couple of days, like, man, like I'm not feeling motivated to do this at all, or get
yes,
worked out,
yeah,
whatever it is. And I feel like that motivation factor is what gets people a lot. And just having people around you, having a good support system around you, helps that motivation factor go up a lot. um,
yeah,
so yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I
that would
agree
be
with you there.
be so cool. Um, what I wanted to talk to you about, the phrase. I don't know if you've seen my IGTV recently, but a lot of people get this phrase, say this phrase. That's not my job. I don't know if you saw it, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
I basically just talked about how a lot of people kind of they say that phrase. That's not my job, and I want to kind of get your thoughts on it about it and see kind of how you feel, um, regarding, like, let's say, so for instance, me, like, I'm a trainer, and I feel like working as a trainer, it's not necessarily my responsibility to go around and help out the front desk or pick up a piece of trash off the floor or mop the floor, stuff like that. A lot of people would say, like, that's not my job, someone else gets paid for it, but I do it anyway. And I feel like that kind of mindset goes into like a leadership perspective too. Like, you're not going to be able to be a good leader unless you have those qualities, unless you can, be able to be, I guess, like, selfless enough to do those small little things in order to, help your team if you're leading a team, but help yourself, like, gain those qualities as well. What do you
yeah.
kind of think about that phrase, or people that say that phrase?
I definitely agree with you. And I, I don't know if it's just because my parents always taught me, it's always like right to do the right thing, or it's always good to do the right thing. But I just always feel like it's the right thing to do to help somebody out.
Mhm.
Like and I always feel like whatever thing you do, whether it's instant or not, just and whether you even get something back or not, when you can, okay, so when you can reach a point where you're giving without expectation, and this took me a really long time to figure out. When you're reaching a point, and like you said, leaders have this, they
Mhm.
give without expectation because they're not better than somebody else. They're not better than the person who's doing that other job. So they might as well help that person out. And they're not giving with an expectation of something good to happen to them. Whether or
Mhm.
not something good happens, I mean, they're going to get something good happen to them regardless because that's all they see. They see optimism, they see opportunity. So, of course, good always follows them, but they're giving without expectation. And it's mostly because they're just at a point where they don't care if they get anything back because all the responsibility is on them. If they're a leader, all the responsibility is on them. So, you know what I mean? It comes down to just their mindset and the way that they think because they're a leader, they're taking on responsibility all day. It's not too much of a hassle for them to go and I mean it's not too much of a hassle for me ever to go and just put a damn cart away or something or go help somebody out who just needs some help, like, you know what I mean? And it's
Mhm.
all just a mindset thing, and so many people are just they're just selfish in what am I going to get out of it, like
Mhm.
what do I get out of helping somebody else, like what do I get? And those are the people who don't follow the feelings, you know what I mean? Those are probably the people who haven't followed their passion yet or found one yet. You know what I mean? They're probably not helping somebody out and then going home and watching Netflix and then complaining about how shitty their life is. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's just like it's crazy to me. But yeah, that's probably like my take on that. I've never been that way because I've always been, I don't know, I played basketball when I was younger all my life, so it's just I've always been the type of person that touched the line. And I
Mhm.
always fucking touch the line, always, regardless. And so it's just who I am. So like if I'm gonna, I'm gonna always go out of my way to help somebody out if they really need my help.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm always gonna help people if it's gonna make their job easier. Because I've even worked at Walmart and I know exactly how those people feel. You know what I
Nice.
mean? So it's just yeah. So it's awesome, and they appreciate it even when you go and because I've handed them a cart one time and a few times, and they appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But
Yeah. 'Cause my first job was Blaze Pizza, and it was very common for because there was usually one or two supervisors on shift, and then the rest of us just whatever regular employees, and we would all share a cleaning list. Okay, you have to mop this, you have to restock, put this stuff away. And it was super common for the supervisors to go in the office and hang out while the rest of us had to clean and mop and
oh my
all
gosh.
that stuff. And it drove me fucking crazy, dude. It pissed me off so much, and that's just what it comes down to. If you want to be a person that's a good supervisor or a good leader or ever have a team, you have to have those qualities in yourself to be able to help the team and help develop the team, whether it's mopping a floor or picking up a piece of trash, or because they're not going to respect you if you don't do it, and they're not going to give that 100% when they do it. If you're in the trenches with them, helping them do it, they're going to want to be that much better, and you're going to be that much better of a leader for it. And that's
Hmm.
just how I feel about the situation, whether it's putting a card away or something as small as that. And that I've gotten a lot of good feedback from too. People are so lazy, dude. It drives me crazy. Me and my
It really
girlfriend,
does drive me crazy, man. It really
uh,
does. It really does.
so like the icing on top of the cake, I was with my girlfriend the other day, and we drove to the store, and like right pulled up into the spot, some guy just like pushes his cart in front of our car, leaves it right there on top of the curb, and walks away. And I was like, oh, dude, I was this
You've
close
got
to
to
like
be
telling him something.
kidding.
Like
Oh my
right,
gosh.
like God was just like, here you go, bro. Like, let me just test you
Dude.
real quick. Oh
I know,
man.
I know. I do that. I actually do that a lot. I'm like, oh man, universe is testing the shit out of me
Uh-huh.
today. Oh my goodness. Woo. We're gonna take a few
Right.
breaths right now.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
All the time, all the time. But it's our job to be that better person and to pay it forward and to make someone else's life that much easier. Even if it is
Yes.
putting a shopping cart back, something as easy as that.
And
But
then the thing is, it's like it's not an instant reward. You know what I mean? It's a mindset shift, is what it is. And when you
Mhm.
can shift your mindset, you start to see opportunity, you start to see growth, you start to see different things, you know, and people don't do that. Like when you're lazy, you're not seeing, like, your mindset is so fixed. You're not seeing the whole picture. Like it's crazy to me. And it's funny because that's when people have their breakthroughs, is when they start to change their mind. Like, and that's what fitness does. That's what it teaches you, all these disciplines in a way to shift your way of thinking. And it's like, people don't realize that. They're just so focused on all these results of like, oh, I want the things, or oh, I want that, or I want this, I want that. It's like, you got to love the process of what you're doing first, and actually think about it in like a practical sense before you just start going about like what you're doing. Like, cause it's, yeah, it's, people get so confused, and then all of a sudden they get discouraged, and they're like, oh, I'm back to being lazy again because that shit didn't work. Like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't work it from the right angle. You just thought doing this would be good and you'd be great at it and everything would be fine. But it's like, no, like no, you gotta shift your way of thinking first. You can't just expect like little, little rewards for stuff like that, or anything like that. Because yeah, leaders, they they're very giving without anything.
In
They don't
return.
expect it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I got you. I got you. Dang, man. Well, I appreciate you for having me on your live. I actually have to get ready for work right now and head out. I got a couple hours to go coach, and then I'll come back and edit some more videos. But I appreciate you again. Thank you for everything. We definitely got to link up soon and come up with some cool stuff.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do, because you're the first person to like reach out to me like that. So definitely, definitely going to talk.
All right, my man. All right, my man. Have a beautiful rest of your day. We will talk later.
You too, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take it.
All right, we'll talk soon. Later. I just want to thank everybody who watched. I don't know how long this thing has been glitching out, but it's glitching out on my end. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And this will be up on my podcast Friday, I believe. So yeah.